We are live on the Rundown, episode 2, featuring myself, Dukes D Scoop, and Justin Adams of CBS Colorado. We're excited to be here. We're excited to talk. And as you come in, drop your locations, drop where you're from, drop what you got going on, drop your questions, just drop it. Justin, what's going on, big dog?
Hey man, everything's all good. You know what, Dukes? I got to be honest with you.
Mhm.
The wifey's out of town, bro,
Oh, wow.
and the kids are staying with the in-laws,
Oh,
which
wow.
means
Yeah.
house is all to myself, brother.
Oh, man. It's got
Dog.
to feel good, right?
But it's a great feeling until you like look into your kid's room and you like,
Mhm.
how the heck did y'all get it this dirty? So I'm in between where I'm like, I want to kick it and just relax.
Right.
I need to clean up the crib, and so that's where I'm at right now.
Oh, man. So before we get into anything, just as more people start to come in,
Yeah,
um, what's the first thing you do when you got the house to yourself?
man. Other than run around naked,
Hey, you ain't got to censor nothing.
real talk. No, you just relax for a bit, man. You just enjoy the silence, and it's wild because when you're in college, you just hey man, you don't care about the noise, man. Let's turn it up, everything, right?
Mhm.
And then you get like kids and married, and it's like, bro, I am enjoying silence. Like right now, I'm in the office, and so knowing that nobody's going to run through in the middle of this live is like music to my ears right now. And
Right.
trust me, as we continue to go on, my son or my daughter will come in and they'll run through at some time. But it is beautiful just having the silence, knowing that when I want to eat something, I could just eat it. I don't have to go and make it for somebody else,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so small things like that.
Nah, it make a big difference, especially like for me. Like I love the DoorDash. So
Ooh,
man, if you don't DoorDash for one is way cheaper. You feel me? So
sir.
nah, but what's up, nephew? Man, love you too. So like as far as like so where we are now, like a busy week in the media. One of those periods where you don't have football,
Hmm.
basketball is winding down, baseball doesn't have the same appeal that it's had, and it's been going that way for a while.
Hmm.
Colorado still dominates headlines. So
Hmm.
earlier this week, ESPN and multiple other sources put out national news that Coach Prime was going through unspecified health issues and that he was away from the team. First of all, I just want to put this disclaimer out there. Like, I think that everything is magnified and that it's a part of the Prime effect. And he's usually, I mean, this is the time to be away from the team if you're going to be away from the team, first
Yes.
and foremost. But as far as what you took from the headlines, and then secondly, Coach Prime comes out and puts out a great tweet this morning. What did you take from his response to all the outpouring of love from those headlines?
I think it just shows how much he's appreciated and how much really the impact that he's had, not only at Colorado, but just to the game of football. And also, not just to football. How about just in general, just what he stands for? Black culture, the culture, doesn't matter what it is. The impact that he has, that shows the outpouring of love that he had. And you really think about what Prime has had to go through the last couple of months. It's a lot of different things he had to go through, from his sons going into the NFL, right? One son that should have been a first round pick now went to the fifth round. His other son then, doesn't get drafted, but is doing his thing right now with Tampa. We'll talk about that later on. And so you have that weight that's going on. Oh, by the way, the transfer portal is going on. So as you're trying to go and make sure that your sons are taken care of, you're looking to go get some other sons to your football team. And then you have to go and recruit. You have all these other different things. And we know with Prime, like he doesn't just do coaching, right? He has a TV show. He has all these other different things that he's able to do, and he does it very well. So for him to be able to have some time just to be able to relax, decompress, get healthy. May I say this, that June is Men's Mental Health Month. It's
Mhm.
extremely important that you take care of your mental health. Fellas, you got to take care of yourself. And with that being said, for him to have any time off is huge. I'll give you one thing. I'm talking to the coach right now of Wyoming, and CU plays Wyoming later on this year. And every time we have a conversation, he's like, yeah, I'm running around, but I'm really trying to go and slow down as much as possible, because we know that once you hit late July, August, that's when everything really ramps up, and things never stop when you have the transfer portal. So for Coach Prime to have this time to get away, get on your compound and relax is extremely important for him to be able to go and just recharge.
Yeah, I think that's important, man. I think a lot of times when you're used to pouring into so many people, you got to figure out how to refill your cup.
Mhm.
And I think this is the perfect time for him to do that. And there may have been some setbacks physically or medically, but for him to be able just to unplug from the world, and he still can't unplug. Like there's no way. Like he has so much going on. I mean, you got a quarterback, you've got a son that's in a quarterback competition in the NFL. You got another son who's also playing professional football. You got another son in Bucky who's has a $1 million media corporation. You have a daughter playing college basketball. You have another daughter that's a new mom. So there's a lot there, and that's not even counting all of the people who depend on him
Mhm.
in Colorado. Not the former players. Think about all the Hall of Famers that look up to him and the former NFL athletes that have forged relationships with him that he is either in a brother, uncle, or father capacity with, even though they aren't blood.
Mhm.
So when you think about everything that he takes on, he deserves his time. And that national media coverage, I kind of felt a little bit of a way about it. I was like, come on, dog, I ain't had to go there. You know what I mean? I can see if he because he knows how to let. One thing about Coach Prime, if he wants it out, he will put it out.
Right.
There's nobody that he can't get to in the industry to put something out.
Right.
But now that it's out, um, he had the ability to let everybody know that he was okay, and I think that was probably the best part of a lot of people's day today.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Dukes, I'm a little bit surprised that we're not seeing this more, not just in football, but also in basketball, just coaching in general, especially at the college level, because of the emphasis of the transfer portal. What's the one thing that you hear a lot of coaches say now? We don't get a chance to rest. It
Mm-hmm.
used to be right for college basketball, right? Once the
Mm-hmm.
season ends, yeah, you go to retool your team a bit, but you have some time to be able to at least get a break, man, decompress, go and travel the country, right? Now it's just, okay, you're right back at it. Immediately,
Mm-hmm.
you're right back at it. Oh, we need to hire new staff. We need to make sure that we're talking back and re-recruiting our players, that we're retaining our staff, or whatever we got to do. And nowadays, it's you don't have that time to rest. And I just hope that this will be a signal for other coaches to be able to say, look, I know you want that one player that can help you get maybe that extra win. I understand that, but your health is paramount. And if you're not healthy, it doesn't matter how many games you win because you won't be alive or around to be able to enjoy those victories. I can't imagine being in a position where I won't be able to enjoy the fruit of my labor. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what's happening is you're having a lot of guys being able to just burn on both ends. So you need to be able to go and have a chance to relax. And this is a really good time for Coach Prime. Please get healthy. We're sending out our prayers.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Men's Mental Health Month.
Mhm.
What are some things that you do to kind of maintain your mental health?
Man, the gym. The
Yeah.
gym. I read the comments, okay? And yes, I do attend the gym a lot. The gym is really important for me. Prayer is huge, getting in the word. Um, and honestly, even though I joked around at the beginning of this talking about my family, um, I love being around them. Like I love being around my wife, being around my kids, and just finding the small, sweet things to be able to go and enjoy. That's what I love about being able to just relax. And look, we get it. We're in a place where you have to have multiple streams of income. We're all grinding out here. But you have to find those sweet moments just to be able to go and relax. I know people talk about meditating as much as possible, but just find those sweet moments to be able to go and just take a breather take a breather, just go and relax. Those are the biggest things. And I'll turn it over to you, bro. What do you do?
Yeah, man, to be honest, man, I think I spend time with my son, man. Like that's probably the best thing that I do that I enjoy the most is literally getting on the field and being able to go throw the ball, or even if we just sitting in the house cracking jokes. Like spending time with my son is so therapeutic for me. Just like because one, it can heal traumas within yourself, right? That I may have had growing up, where being the guy from day one, or and some just certain things that you can give as a father that you may have seen other people without the chance to get, even if it wasn't me. Sometimes you can have shared trauma when you're close to people. So
Right.
being able to be the father that not only I wanted, that other people around me wanted, or some of my cousins may have wanted it, just being able to try to emulate that father, that's therapeutic for me.
Mhm.
So man, I'm grateful for him, man, on the highest tier. That's probably the thing I'm most proud of. And I've done a lot of cool things, but man, nothing cooler than being a pops. You feel me? So that's probably what I would say, which really protects my mental health more than anything, is spending time with little Cam.
Can,
But
can,
go
can we
ahead, go ahead. I'm sorry.
can we highlight that for a hot second, just real quick, just because trust me, we get to the football talk. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
No better feeling than being a father.
Yeah.
No better feeling, man. Father's Day is coming up. I made the joke. I was like, "Cool, man. Sunday's Father's Day. What y'all getting me?" But
Mhm.
the reality is that it could be nothing, and you have everything. And to be able to see the life in my son's eyes, 6 years old, and he's discovering things for the first time, things that you already know, and he's discovering that, or he scores a touchdown, or he makes a basket, or he tells me about a drawing, that he has, or shows me a drawing from school. Or my daughter, she's 2 years young, she'll be 3 next month. Happy birthday to my baby girl Brooke, and just to be able to go give her a hug, like that tenderness that your daughter has, where you just melt inside. There's nothing better than that. And then we're also potty training her, so
Oh
that
wow.
that prayer that we have that she actually figures this out is what we're also doing, man. But there's nothing better in this world, man, than being a father.
And if you watching right now, man, feel free if you have anything that for especially for the males, but even for the women out there, if you have anything that we could share with our fellow brothers during this Men's Mental Health Month, let us know some things that we can do to take care of our own mental health. We appreciate it. We'll pass it along as far as possible. Man, so there was a new development that on Well Off Media. I think it was posted today, maybe.
Mhm.
All right, and you kind of mentioned it to me. What was it?
So the grass is gone and the turf is here now. So at Folsom Field, it's grass. It's no longer grass, it's turf. They have it all put together, all in there, and it's it looks good. It's just weird. And again, this is coming from somebody who's played at Folsom Field, been, a buff. Um, it's just like, man, I miss the grass already, but I understand why it's important to have the turf down, right? Because it's a signal to where this program is going. We're not playing for just being in the Big 12 championship. We're not playing just to try to win the Big 12 championship. This program is going to say, hey, we're looking to host college football playoff games. And when you talk about late November, December, the grass isn't the best in Colorado. So you want to make sure that you get that turf down in order to host those games. So I love what it does. I love the signal of what it has. I will miss the grass. Don't get me wrong, but the field looks really good. The turf looks great.
When you think about turf versus grass, you hear a lot of there's a big debate among players. Some people feel like grass is best. Some people feel like turf is best. In your experience, and there are different levels of turf. What do you feel like is the best in your opinion?
For Dan Short AstroTurf, brother, I
Right.
played on that, man. Look, here's the problem. If you could take some Jordans that you should be playing basketball in and play football in,
Hmm.
that's a problem. And that's what we did when we were in high school, right? So
Right. Yeah.
Folsom
Yeah.
Field had that too. I mean, you feel me on that, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you should be able to wear basketball shoes to play football.
Hmm.
And that's the hard surface that people played in the 80s. Folsom Field had that in the 90s. So then went to grass from there. So as long as it's that grassy turf that still has that give, I'm
Hmm.
cool with it. The Buffs played Colorado State last year. Colorado State has that type of field. There's several other fields that the Buffs played on that has the same surface. And oh, by the way, the practice field has the exact same turf as when you talk about the indoor facilities. So as long as you're able to just be able to adjust on those different fields, you'll be fine. But at the end of the day, man, football's football. And I get
Yeah.
it, right? Some people will say, hey, you want to have the grass at all times. You want to make sure that you have the best turf possible for your student athletes. They're still student athletes to these days. You want to make sure that you have it so that they can be able to go and perform well in the field.
Absolutely, man. I love where the program is going, and some of the things that you just know that Coach Prime has probably ushered in a new era in college and in Colorado football.
Mhm.
Being on the same level as your peers, actually turning Folsom into more of that home field advantage. Having the same field, your game field being your same practice field. Like I think that's huge. Are there any other upgrades that you'd like to see in Folsom?
Yeah, Balch Fieldhouse. It's on the west side of the stadium. Like, I would love to see that redone in one way or the other, man. We shouldn't be using the restroom as fellas in horse troughs. Okay, can we
Right.
just go and update that bad boy for a little bit? But I would like to see Folsom. I know that there are a lot of stadiums that hang around kind of that 55 capacity now, especially in the NFL. I'd like to see it go get a little bit more. Why you have this opportunity? Let's go and upgrade CU in that way. You already last year made a huge addition to the video screen, so on the south end of the stadium. So I would love to be able to have that too, because again, you are recruiting against everybody. And I get it, money it reigns supreme, right? Everybody wants to get the cash. Everybody wants to get that paper. But at the end of the day, you got to make sure that when people step into that stadium, that they know, like you said, you have that home field advantage and it looks great everywhere around. Just make those upgrades in. I think that's the biggest thing that CU needs to do.
I think when I went, what I want to change. So Folsom kind of gives me this boutique experience for a college football game.
Talk about it.
So when you think about going to play basketball at like Duke or like Cameron Indoor, it's not going to be as big as some other places, but it's like an experience. Same thing, or Vanderbilt basketball. Vanderbilt is like they're right up on you. Going to Oklahoma State Stadium is like it's not a lot of sideline room, so it's like sideline fans immediately.
Yeah.
So there are sometimes having those nuances in your stadium where it's not vanilla like the classic, just 100,000 people, crammed in somewhere. It can add some mystique to the building, I think. But I think maybe more people there to be able to enjoy the experience to make it even louder. But I think, man, Folsom Field is on its way to being one of those marquee places that you say, I don't want to go there in November. I don't want to go there. One, because of the football. Two, because of the elevation. And when you think about late in the season, you're already tired, and you got to go get ready to in that altitude to be able to breathe and run your best. And these guys have been training in it. I think that's another potential I guess a potential advantage for Folsom. And I think Folsom can build itself into one of those places that they say when you look at the schedule, no matter what the record is, and we're expecting the Colorado to continue with the same trajectory, but no matter what your record, no matter what Auburn's record is, nobody wants to go there in November.
Right.
No matter what LSU's record is, you don't want to go there in November. And I think Folsom is along those same lines, regardless of the record.
Where would you rank Folsom in the stadiums that you've been to? Like, where would you rank them? I think SEC. I've never been inside of one. Hint, hint. Like I know you're an Auburn guy, brother. I mean, yeah. Iron Bowl. I'm just saying we might need to go there one time.
Absolutely.
Where would you rank Folsom when you look at other stadiums around the country?
Man, I've been in a few. It's not as far off as some. I mean, like I would if you just take sheer numbers out of it, but stadium wise, I think Arkansas and Folsom aren't far off. Oklahoma State and Folsom aren't far off. I'd say it's been a long time since I've been to Michigan State. You got some of those powerhouse SEC ones that are just going to be bigger, just like and they're going to be a little more updated now. But I would say it's middle of the pack. I've been the worst for sure. And I think the people in the experience all together last year when I went to I think I went to Cincinnati. Yeah, I went to Cincinnati game. Cincinnati experience. Just how nice people were. Even from the airport. I mean, that was the talk of town. Like from the airport to the stadium to the hotels, everything around. People was like, "What are you doing here?" I'm coming to cover the Colorado Buffaloes for the media. They were like, "Are you really?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Do you know Coach Prime?" I'm like, "Yeah." And it was just like, I'm like, "Yeah, I do." They were like, "No way." I'm like, "Yeah, seriously." And it was just a fun experience for the excitement that goes along with Colorado CU Buffaloes right now, Buffalo football. Yeah. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
How has one thing that I know in Auburn is that the arrival of Bruce Pearl has helped galvanize the fan base and kind of football fans at bay a little bit because you have something to look forward to with basketball when you talk about potentially winning championships. Has the arrival of Coach Prime impacted any other sports teams in Colorado?
That's interesting because I do games, at Wyoming, for example. And
Yeah.
so, the basketball team, men's and women's, they talked about that his impact immediately, just in the region in general, has had like him just being there has had an impact. Recruiting has actually picked up because of that for them. They're actually able to get some different kids that they weren't able to get before. I won't say too much with Air Force because Air Force is just an academy. If you're going there, you're going there for, in many respects, a different reason. But I would say it's had a huge impact on teams like Colorado State, for example, because
Mm,
when Colorado State last year played CU, they knew that they had to get the talent to be able to compete with CU. And then you look at what they did in the season, they won 8 games, got to a
mm,
bowl game. It was honestly, if they beat Fresno State, they're taking on Boise State in the Mountain West Championship game. So you look at that, and I think just around the region in general, not just for college programs, but high school and all the way down, everybody wants to go to Colorado now. And the reality
mm.
is that, well, if you're going to go to Colorado, you have to be special, special. Think
Right.
about it. We got a tight end in this class from Colorado, but you have to go and be special, special to make
Mm.
it happen. You just can't be one of those tweener type kids and you're able to go up to CU. So it's had a huge impact. I would like to see obviously the basketball team at the University of Colorado. And Tab Boyle has done a tremendous job for years. I would love to see the team be able to go and make a quick turn this season. But soccer, look what the soccer team did. They got to the NCAA tournament. Lacrosse didn't, but they've always been a solid group. So it has helped everywhere around. When you talk about his arrival, trust me, it has really just rose every type of tide here at the University of Colorado.
Yeah, one way that I think that some of his impact, speaking on Coach Prime's impact in Colorado, is some of the rules that he was able to put in place or for transfers to be able to get in.
Mhm.
So I think there were I think over 1,000 students were able to get into Colorado that may not have been able to get in there previously.
Oh
And I
yeah,
believe and I believe only 20 of those, or 20 or 25 of those, maybe 30 at the most. I got to check that number, but it was less than it was a very small percentage that actually that the football team was able to take advantage of. It was for the remainder of that fan base, and I think that helps every sport, especially with the transfer portal. And as we get the revenue sharing and things start to change, being able to get people in and for people to be able to sell their Colorado education to players who may not have been able to, no matter the sport, who may not have been able to get into Colorado now that they may have, and not to say that they didn't have the aptitude, but it's just some things that they may not have been properly aligned based on transcript. So
yes,
being able to get guys into Colorado, regardless of the sport, is another, I guess, another. I would call it another leg of the Prime effect, if you were just kind of to put it in a short word. But now I got to ask you,
Mhm.
I know you covered the Nuggets some. Right now, what's your do the what's your take on the NBA Finals, and who are you looking for? Who are you looking to pull it out?
First of all, shout out to the NBA, man. Got this NBA Finals hat on, and
Mm-hmm.
man, so I'm upset a bit
Okay.
because I know if the Nuggets would have won Game 5 against Oklahoma City, or Game 4 or Game 5, and they could have
Mhm.
won both games, they would be in the NBA Finals right now. And it sucks because it's back-to-back seasons where I look at the Nuggets and I'm like, man, you lost Game 7 at the crib against Minnesota. You're up by 20 in the second half, and Minnesota comes back and beats you. I think that's going to happen more than not now, especially in the postseason. The Knicks had several different 20-point come back from behind victories this year. When I look at the finals, I really want Indiana to do well. Like, I
Mhm.
want them to really make it a long series. And I thought it was so much fun to see, Tyrese Halliburton doing his thing. And, he doesn't really take over games per se, but he always makes that clutch shot at the end.
Mhm.
So I love seeing that. The reality is this, though: Oklahoma City is that team.
Yeah.
Like when you say who's him, like they that team. And
Right.
I don't know what the score is right now, but I mean, I wouldn't be fooled by what happens here in Game 3. Oklahoma City is clearly the best team in the NBA, and they're just going to get better because of all their draft picks. So I hope that Indiana, with their depth, they could be able to go and make some things happen, especially at home. They could be able to go and, at worst, go back to OKC at 2-2. But if that doesn't happen, man, this thing's at 3-1, brother, we're gonna be done in 5.
What
Thunder in 5.
Thunder at 5, right?
Yes,
What
sir.
what would Denver have to do to defeat OKC next year?
Depth. They need depth in the worst way. That's actually what hurt them. And you can talk about injuries, bro. Injuries happen to everybody. I mean,
Right.
that's sports, man. Sports are, one of the things you do is, how can you be able to overcome pain? How can you be able to overcome discomfort? Like, that is sports. Like, you train to overcome discomfort, right? You train in
Mhm.
discomfort to be able to play in that way. So they need more depth. So I know Bruce Brown, who's a guy who was a hero off the bench for the Nuggets 2 years ago when they won the championship. Hopefully they'll be able to get him back. There's a lot of people who want Michael Porter Jr. to be able to go and be traded. So trade that contract. He's a great shooter, not the best defender in the world. So they, hopefully you could trade him, right, and be able to go and really boost up your depth from there. The reality is, as long as you have Jokic, you have a chance. Let me
Yeah.
tell you this, brother. You can't do no evil. You can't do no wrong, my man, Nikola Jokic. He is ridiculous and as advertised. But guys like Jamal Murray has to step up. Like
Yeah.
you're getting paid a max contract, brother. Like, you got to go and be that dude. And
Right.
so he needs to come in shape. He needs to go and be an all-star this year. I don't need you to be somebody who's sitting in the back of the bus, brother. You need to be an all-star this season. Aaron
Mhm.
Gordon's Aaron Gordon, man. He's going to do his thing. He's reliable. I trust him. But I think the Nuggets need to go and get some depth. And to be honest, there's going to be a lot of change. Kevin Durant's going to go from Phoenix to maybe San Antonio or Houston, right? Giannis could be leaving Milwaukee as well, right? We could see some other trades that we're not expecting. That's just going to happen one way or the other. So for the Nuggets, if you're going to go with this core that you have, you better go and make sure you get some other guys on minimum contracts.
Man, you know what? I like how you put that together. Uh, I think it's going to be a crash. I think once that first domino falls
Mhm.
for Kevin Durant or Giannis, whoever, I think it's going to be a lot of movement as teams try to get ready for what's coming. Before we get out of here, you mentioned earlier in the green room that you saw an interesting clip from Tampa Bay. Can you
Yeah.
talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, Raheem Morris. Not Raheem. Is it Raheem? No, Raheem Morris is not the coach down there.
Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles. Excuse me. Todd Bowles. I was thinking Raheem Morris. He's at Atlanta.
Mhm.
Todd Bowles was talking about Shiloh, and
Oh
was just
wow.
commenting on how Shiloh is doing and how he's getting better and how he's really learning the system and how he's adjusting well at the NFL level. And I'm like, no duh, right? Like, that's what he's about. That's what he does. It's great to see Shiloh start to pick things up. And here's the thing that a lot of people miss when you talk about minicamp. The guys know, like, guys in the locker room, they know who could play. And oh, by the way, the front office knows who could be able to play. Would I be upset if Shiloh is on the practice squad? No, because we've seen a lot of great players go on the practice squad and turn out and have great careers. I would love him to make the 53. But my thing for him is, hey, you go and find yourself a place in Tampa and be able to stick, be able to learn, be able to grow. And it sounds like he's doing well. Every highlight that you see, he's making some plays out there. And of course, he'll make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. It's the game of football, but he's getting better every day. And when the coach mentions your name at a press conference, that's a really good thing. So you want to make sure you're doing that. So I love hearing that from Shiloh. And then, Shador, he's doing this thing out of Cleveland. He was on the podium yesterday and talked about just how this is an opportunity for him to be able to grow and to be able to learn. And I want him to be able to do that too, man. Take full advantage of this opportunity. And hey, we'll see this young man starting. You and I both know he's going to start. Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joe Flacco was with the Broncos in 2018. He should have retired in 2018, brother. Okay,
Dang.
Shador's gonna be that dude.
I didn't even know. Dang, dang, you right. Man, that's crazy. Forgot about that.
Bro, you want a quick story about Joe Flacco, real quick?
Yeah.
Very personal story. All right. So Bronco fans are gonna hate this story, but it is what it is. Okay. And if you're a Bronco fan, you know where I'm going, back to 2012. Divisional round, man. Peyton Manning's first year. And this is Ray Lewis's last season, by the way. And so, the thing that people were saying was like, okay, hey, Ray Lewis, it all going to end right here in Denver. So Broncos up 7 points late in the game. Peter King, who is a Hall of Fame writer in the NFL, talking to him, doing some networking and whatnot. And he stops me in like mid conversation and he's like, do you realize we just seen the last game of Ray Lewis's career? Yeah, you're right. That's pretty cool, you know? So we get down to the field. Mind you, it is -8 degrees. I have a pea coat on. I don't have like one of those big coats on. I just have a little small pea coat. But you know what? I'm like, hey, we're going to be outside just for a little bit. I'm not even worried about it, all right? Get down to the field. About 40 seconds left. Broncos just got to stop and everything. I think they got a sack on Joe Flacco. So I'm like, ooh, this game's going to be over. Clock's going to run out. Flacco, steps back and launches the ball deep. Now, you and I both know football. When you see the ball go in the air, what's the first thing you look at? You look for the safeties. You look for the wide receiver. There's a guy by the name of Raheem Morris. And I looked for him first. And then I looked at Jacoby Jones, who caught the pass. Rest in peace to that brother, by the way. And when I saw the ball, I saw Raheem, I saw Jacoby. I was like, this ain't going to be good. The ball goes out of the outstretched hands of Morris. And Moore. And then it gets caught by Jacoby Jones. He takes it to the house. We go to overtime, man. And the Broncos lose in double overtime. Mind you, the whole time, I'm still in this pea coat, and I am freezing my mind out, man. So Baltimore goes and wins the Super Bowl that year, man. Ray Lewis ends on top. But that's one I wish the Bronco fans definitely could have been able to have back, because I think that team would have been able to win the Super Bowl.
Oh man, great stuff, man. It's been a pleasure, man. As always, we look forward to stacking episodes. We're on episode 2 now. Can't wait to get to episode 100. Where can everybody find you, Jay?
Hey, find me at Justin Adams TV. Again, Justin Adams TV. And you know what? I'm starting up my own YouTube page as well. So Justin A. Adams TV. Again, Justin A. Adams TV. Hey, subscribe. Give me a follow. Hey, man, let's go build up these pages, man. And definitely follow my man, Dukes the Scoop, man. We're going to have a whole lot of fun on the rundown.
All right, man, for sure, man. Hey, thank y'all for checking in. I may go live later on tonight, but if I don't, man, everybody, y'all know the rules. Make it home safe. Take care of everybody that love you and love yourself. All right, man, appreciate it.
Salute.